referring to how it was happened. The KK rider stabbed 2 people at the 2 sides in front of the KK.
I will confuse them to come to the market.
Congratulations to the media. You have done incredible work.
In 10 days, it will show you what it does.
The Senate observed that PPP has consistently engaged in underhanding.
Position, you don't know. Hey, we'll get to Peru for Africa.
When your brother is producing something and you patronizing your brother.
Listen to Planet 101.1 FM News at 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. with our news in special English at 2:30 p.m., Mondays to Fridays. Planet Radio 101.1 FM, evolving around you.
It's the news at noon. In the news, President Bola Tinubu to address Nigerians today by 7 p.m. Member representing Essien Udim State Constituency, Prince Akpabio II, holds first award empowerment program for constituents, gives 20 supporters business support grant. Africa Faith and Justice Network Nigeria, in collaboration with Dominicans Nigeria Conference Women Religious, holds 3 days workshop to end human trafficking, domestic servitude, and child marriage. On the foreign scene, Wagner pauses fighter recruitment to focus on Africa and Belarus. In sports, Japan beats Spain 4-0 in Women's World Cup. Details coming up shortly. Good afternoon and welcome to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo. I am Davina Praise Omang. We begin this afternoon with a political report that, in keeping with his campaign promise of holding empowerment program for his constituents on a monthly basis, rotated among the wards in Essien Udim local government area, the member representing Essien Udim State Constituency and Chairman House Committee on Rules, Business, Ethics and Privileges, Prince Akpabio II, has launched the maiden edition of his monthly ward empowerment program in Afar Ward, where the People's Democratic Party PDP scored the highest votes in the 2023 governorship and State House of Assembly election. 20 indigents of the ward, 10 male and 10 females, were given a business support grant of 100,000 naira each, in line with the philosophy of the Arise agenda of Governor Umoh Eno. The majority of beneficiaries were owners of visible small-scale businesses in the community. Addressing the gathering, Prince Akpabio II said his decision to kick off his monthly empowerment in Afar Ward was his little way of appreciating them for their love, support and solidarity to the PDP, especially for overwhelmingly voting for Governor Umoh Eno and himself during the 2023 governorship and State House of Assembly election. He reiterated his determination to change the narrative as far as legislative representation is concerned, noting with delight that he will not only ensure he visits one ward every last Sunday of the month to brief his constituents on his activities in the Akwa State House of Assembly, but also empower a minimum of 20 indigents in the community. The empowerment program was preceded by a thank you meeting with a cross-section of Essien Udim caucus alongside ward, chapter and state party officers at the residence of the political leader of Essien Udim, Obong M.A. Afangide. He told the gathering that so far he has 2 bills and 1 motion to his credit, which are a motion for the resettlement of Korakpan airstrike victims in Essien Udim local government area by the Akpabio state government, a bill for the establishment of Ibom Oil and Gas Corporation, and a bill for the establishment of the Akpabio Economic Stabilization Reserve Fund, which seeks to establish an Economic Stabilization Reserve Fund. Prince Akpabio used the occasion to announce his membership of 12 House committees and his plans to kickstart on an entrepreneurial development training program for Essien Udim students in tertiary institutions, using the University of Uyo as pilot phase. Through the Justice Nsima Akpabio Foundation, in conjunction with the Skills Acquisition and Rural Development Center, University of Uyo, in partnership with Mogvoil College of Arts, Science and Vocational Studies of University of Uyo, adding that the first batch of trainees will kick off before his first 100 days in office.
Fulfill our promise that the Middle House of Assembly that every month when we work with that work, we share some bottles of understanding. And so my intention is just to fulfill my campaign promise. And that one of these days the deputy governor will lead a team to Essien Udim. And then all we want is the support from the host community. And then scholarship, we raise the bar of scholarship.
In his goodwill message, the leader of Afara Ward and Commissioner Local Government Service Commission, Sunye Kere Nokon, thanked Prince Akpabio for his love to Afara people and for recognizing the support and sacrifice they gave to the PDP, promising that the ward will continue to keep faith with the party and government in the state. He appealed to the Commissioner for Power, Engineer Camillus Umor, to come to their aid by reconnecting the community to the national grid to accelerate socio-economic development and small-scale businesses in the community. Also speaking, the chairman of Essien Udim local government area, Anthony Luke, said Afara people are the highest risk takers in any election in Essien Udim and commended the lawmaker for keeping to his promise and giving the people a reason to continue to support the PDP.
Bible about ingratitude is a sin. But I can say again and again and again, you have started well, because it was a promise you made. No matter what happens, you have kept to your words. So thank you. For the people of Afara, thank you for standing by the truth. Thank you that the support you said you were going to give came and went on. We no support the risk you go for every election. So you and I say remove from the system. And I thank them that our people did not disappoint us. Thank you. I have the pleasure to tell you. In return, we will not fail you. Thank you.
Responding on behalf of the beneficiaries, Udwara Temudofia thanked the lawmaker for fulfilling his campaign promise to Essien Udim people less than 2 months after assuming office, submitting that his gesture has gone a long way to building trust, confidence and faith in the PDP. He promised to make good use of the grant. The beneficiaries include Ename Tiefyong Enyema, Udeme Etimofyong, Yagunbre Okonu Moren, Ubong Marcus Jimmy, Sini Nicholas Udombre, Udwag Etimudofia, Udeme Udoa Fangide, Donato Silvanus Ekanem, Gloria Konuke, and Inemesid Emmanuel. Others are Mary Felix Upe, Mfon Iman Ebe, Eno Fidelis Gabriel, Enamiti Etemo Moren, Ekemini Usoro, Happiness Iman Isaac, Mercy Inyokon, Xavier Etemidio, Ememobong Peter Robert, and Iboro Etemomo. Away from that, Africa Faith and Justice Network, AFJN Nigeria, in collaboration with Dominicans Nigeria Conference Women Religious, NCWR, as well as Catholic Diocese of Uyo and Catholic Diocese of Ikotopene last week, held a 3-day workshop with the theme Working Together Towards Ending Domestic Servitude and Child Marriage, to advocate end to human trafficking, domestic servitude and child marriage. The event, which was held at the Diocese Pastoral Center, number 5 Dominicans Avenue, had in attendance the Bishop of Uyo Diocese, Most Reverend Dr. John Aya, who in his welcome address appreciated the group for their efforts towards curbing domestic servitude and child marriage in Nigeria.
I want to thank all of you who have made it to be here. We pray to always have you here. Come to us. The work you do is to make society better than what it is. A lot of anomalies, things that don't go on well in society, which you are striving, working very hard to correct. In family life, in society as a whole, particularly the family, abuses in families. Lots of these things that go on and people just behave as if nothing is happening. A lot of things are happening which are not very proper. So thank you for taking the bull by the horns, being courageous enough to call a spade a spade.
Speaking on the brief history of AFJN, the coordinator of Women Empowerment Program of the African Faith and Justice Network, Sister Eukaria Madueke, stressed that the organization had existed for the past 40 years and was established in Washington, D.C. by missionaries who had worked in Africa, noting that the group advocates for the vulnerable in the society and has branches all over the world.
Africa, Faith, Justice, Network. Those words are very important to this organization. If you are an African, you are part of this organization. If you have faith, you are part of this organization. And if you are interested in justice, you are part of this organization. And if you believe in networking, this is where you are. So it's an organization that is very embracing. And that's why whenever we go for program, we want to invite everybody, because we believe that it's together that we can create a change. So Africa Faith and Justice Network is a 40-year-old organization that was started in Washington, D.C. Was started by Catholic missionaries, men and women.
Speaking also at the event, the consultant from AFJN, Father Anyedi Okure, intimated the public on reason for the workshop, which he said is to highlight the links between the recruitment of house helps and human trafficking, and also the violation of the rights and dignity of the victims, stating that the workshop will help to prefer solutions on how to end domestic servitude and child marriage.
The overall aim is to stay up at collective thinking on ways to end this practice, which in no doubt is a detriment to the development of people, to the development of the victims, the community, and in this case, Akwa Ibom State, the context being Akwa Ibom. In times past, the practice of having home helpers from Akwa Ibom was a thing of pride for people here, a thing of pride for those who were recruited for the service. People from this area were generally considered to be peaceful and dependable, and they had the reputation of being excellent cooks.
On her part, the Vice Chairperson, International Federation of Female Lawyers, FIDA Uyo Branch, Barrister Love Basi, said the Constitution of Nigeria frowns at child marriage. She said that education is important for the girl child and also encouraged the girl child to learn a skill. The representative of NAPTIP, Eme Inyobong Akpabio, stated that domestic servitude is a type of human trafficking that does not only involve children but also adults. According to her, the epidemic affects both male and female. She therefore advised parents to make findings before giving out their children to go and stay with their family members or even friends to avoid their children being victims of domestic servitude or child marriage. To the national scene now, where President Bola Tinubu will make a broadcast of the nation today by 7 p.m. The special advisor to the president on special duties, communications and strategy, Dele Alake, disclosed this today in a statement. He therefore enjoined television, radio stations and other electronic media outlets to hook up for the broadcast. From the Red Chambers, all is reportedly set for the screening of the first batch of ministerial nominees forwarded by President Bola Tinubu to the Senate. Reports say 20 of the 28 ministerial nominees have completed their documentation for the screening at the Senate today. About 24 hours after the Senate unveiled the President's first batch of ministerial list on Thursday, July 27th, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Abdullahi Gumul, asked the ministerial nominees to complete their documentation ahead of screening, which commences today. Reports say Tinubu's first set of nominations was overshadowed by politicians, including former governors serving and former members of the Senate and House of Representatives. In the meantime, the House of Representatives Committee on Public Assets has announced its decision to investigate the alleged sale of 2 training helicopters by the Nigeria College of Aviation Technology, Zaria. The committee, in a press statement signed by the chairman, Ademori Nkuye, today said its attention was drawn to the development through media reports yesterday on the purported sale of 2 Bell 26L 3 helicopters, which were public assets acquired for training pilots by the Nigeria College of Aviation Technology, Zaria, for 1.2 billion naira. He added that the urgency in the sales and concession of public assets at the twilight of the last administration calls for suspicion, since the supposed arrival was gotten from that administration. On security, the Acting Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has announced the establishment of the Schools Protection Squad, SPS, to ensure the security of lives and property in schools across the nation. Force Public Relations Officer Muyiwa Dejobi said the initiative was geared towards ensuring the safety of schools and students. In furtherance of the safety drives, Adejobi maintained that the IGP had also concluded plans to launch a standard operating procedure SOP handbook for the Safe Schools program. Meanwhile, the IGP has called on all relevant stakeholders to actively participate and support the idea for the safety and general well-being of the nation's educational assets, saying this can help Nigeria build a robust education system that guarantees a secure and conducive learning environment for every child. You are listening to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo. Let's take a breather and then bring you more stories from our foreign, sports and entertainment scenes. Do stay with us.
Healthy living begins with the choices one makes. Choosing to live healthy is the first step to healthy living. Join us Sundays 1:30 to 2 p.m. for Healthway, awareness for healthy choices.
Many thanks for staying with us. On the foreign scene, the head of the Wagner mercenary group, Evgeny Prigozhin, has said it will continue its activities in Africa and Belarus, but that it is not currently recruiting new fighters. The group was deciding on its next objectives, Prigozhin said in an audio message published by a Wagner-linked Telegram account. Reports say Wagner fighters have played a key role during Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In June, several thousand of them took part in a short-lived mutiny against Russia's military leadership. In his audio message, Prigozhin said most Wagner fighters were currently on leave because there was a long period of very hard work. Reports say after the failed Wagner mutiny on 24th of June, President Vladimir Putin invited fighters from the group who did not take part in the uprising to sign contracts with the Russian Defense Ministry. In sports, Hinata Miyazawa scored twice and set up another as Japan stunned Spain 4-0 at the Women's World Cup today to set up a clash with Norway in the knockout stage. The The Japanese delivered a lesson in clinical counter-attacking and led 3-0 at halftime to issue a World Cup warning against one of the title contenders. Miyazawa's brace took her to 4 goals for the tournament, while Riko Ueki and Mina Tanaka bagged the others for a hugely impressive Japan. Still in sport, Manchester United have agreed a 10-year extension to their partnership with Adidas worth a minimum of £900 million. The club said the new deal will have an increased focus on their women's team since its reintroduction in 2018. United's chief executive Richard Arnold has said the relationship between Manchester United and Adidas is one of the most iconic in the world of sports. On the entertainment scene, organizers of the Big Brother Niger BB Niger All-Stars season have announced that from next week there will be judges on the show. Host of the show, Ebuka Obiuchendu, made this known during the live show yesterday. Ebuka said the judges, who will comprise former BB Niger housemates from different seasons, will deliberate to save one of the housemates with the least votes. It's been the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo, but before we go, a recap of the major stories. President Bola Tinubu will make a broadcast to the nation today by 7 p.m. In keeping with his campaign promise of holding empowerment program for his constituents on a monthly basis, rotated among the wards in Essien Udim local government area, the member representing Essien Udim State Constituency and Chairman House Committee on Rules, Business, Ethics and Privileges, President Akpabio II, has launched the maiden edition of his monthly ward empowerment program in Afara ward, where the People's Democratic Party (PDP) scored the highest votes in the 2023 governorship and State House of Assembly election. Africa Faith and Justice Network (AFJN) Nigeria, in collaboration with Dominicans Nigeria Conference Women Religious (NCWR), as well as Catholic Diocese of Uyo and Catholic Diocese of Ikotopene, last week held a 3-day workshop with the theme "Working Together Towards Ending Domestic Servitude and Child Marriage" to advocate end to human trafficking, domestic servitude, and child marriage. On the foreign scene, we told you that the head of the Wagner mercenary group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, has said it will continue its activities in Africa and Belarus, but that it is not currently recruiting new fighters. In sports, reported that Hinata Miyazawa scored twice and set up another as Japan stormed Spain 4-0 at the Women's World Cup today to set up a clash with Norway in the knockout stage. For comments and coverage of your newsworthy events, call our newsroom on 0812-770-2940. Visit our website on planet101fm.ng and follow us on Twitter at planet_101fm. Also like our Facebook page at Planet 101 FM Uyo. The news was edited by Jane Uwa. As we end the news, remember that there are no shortcuts in life. If you do the work, you get rewarded, and that is how it will always be. I am Davina Praise Omang.